Hey everybody, Steven here, Green Effect Podcast, Season 3, Episode 40, the Big 4-0, live on the air. Let's get at it. There is like a whole hodgepodge of crap going on in the world right now. So we're going to kind of pick our way through it a little bit, especially after last week's episode. If you didn't watch last week's episode, make sure you watch it. It was pretty cool with the video that we did. The housing hell with Pierre Poilievre. Again, it was a little political, but it really wasn't. Just some fantastic statistics that are out there. But after that episode, we're doing just a regular audio video one, no shared screen stuff today. But definitely a bunch of crap to talk about. First of all, are we all getting in the Christmas spirit a little bit? It's funny, as you get older, it gets tougher, right? It's like it gets tougher to get into gift giving and Santa Claus and stuff like that. I start jacking up Christmas carols as soon as I can, whether I'm driving my car or out in the backyard picking up dog shit. It doesn't matter. I'm jacking up the Christmas carols, just trying to get into the mood. And Christmas, without a doubt, is my favorite time of the year. I used to make this used to be the case. Now it's a little bit more of the case for the whole year, but mortgages just die down during Christmas. It's awesome. You have a really busy year for the most part. Not as busy as it could have been this year with, as Pierre Poilievre put, housing hell going on. But it's quiet. You kind of shut off your cell phone. You just enjoy family as much as you can. And listen, we're lucky. We know a lot of people are struggling out there. But in general, I mean, for us, it's nice. It's quiet. And it again, by far my favorite part of the year for sure. Anyway, let's talk about again stuff that's going on. Okay. So where do we start? All right. So first thing, immigration minister gets up. Okay. And so there was this whole thing going on with international students. Those of you who didn't hear, there was a food bank in Brampton that decided to start to turn away international students. I guess they had international students visiting the food bank, which is kind of sad, right? I didn't know this, but apparently when you come here as an international student, you have to have X number of dollars to make sure you can support yourself. I'm guessing the X number of dollars they came up with is from like 1980, okay? And it's just not enough to sustain. So they're probably going to the food bank because they legit need the food. Well, I guess this food bank decided to say, no more international students, okay? That's not what this is for. You guys are supposed to have enough money to support yourselves. This is for all the other Canadians, because international students they're not permanent residents. They're not, Canadian citizens, anything like that. They're here just to study. That's it. Now, we all know most of them do stay. They get jobs, they get work permits, and then they become permanent residents. Fair enough. But she basically said no. Anyway, it's kind of made national news. So housing minister basically came up and said, you know what? Minimum was like 10,000, which is insane to even think about that it's only 10,000 for an international student to live off of. But now it's going to be like 20,000. Okay. And I guess the kids that are in school now don't have to worry. But for August, they need to show more money to make sure that they can support themselves. Right. It's sad that a food bank has to do this, make national news, and then the government does something. I guess that's kind of the MO around town, but it is what it is. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. Will it do much? Probably not. I think for the most part, if you're an international student, please don't take this as Stephen thinks that international students have it easy. It's not where I'm going with this. But for the most part, if you're able to come here and go to school and stuff like that, you're probably relatively okay in your home country, right? I'm just guessing, guys. Listen, I was born here. I don't know what it's like to be an international student, but I'm just kind of guessing, okay? So, I mean, will we all of a sudden have like no international students here at all because of this? Probably not, okay? It's probably just a simple little thing he's doing just to appease people. Let's face it, international students are here really to make the universities a lot of money. So let's just It is what it is. But let's see what happens. I don't think it's going to change our complete housing outlook because of it, but it does make sense. It would be nice if they were completely self-sufficient, right? So that's international students. Man, I want to talk, okay, flipping gears completely. Let's talk about Airbnb. So this is either going to be a big thing or it's going to be nothing at all, and so obviously British Columbia has, I think they banned Airbnb completely, okay? Unless there's certain things that you do, like if you live in the home, rent out a room or an apartment, that's different. But if it is a pure Airbnb, then it's illegal, right? Can't have it anymore. And let's face it, more states and provinces are going to go this route. It is what it is, right? So will that flood the market with inventory? Probably not. There'll be a little more inventory, but listen, we're not going to solve the housing crisis by banning Airbnbs. We're just not. Maybe in some areas, yeah, absolutely, for sure, right? But we're not going to solve the nation's housing crisis with this Airbnb ban. Are they taking up inventory? Absolutely they are. But, is Airbnb, we all know what Airbnb used to be, someone maybe having a room to rent out. Okay, it was like a small little ma and pa. We have an extra room in our house. We have an extra apartment. We have a second unit in our house. That's what Airbnb was born. That's how it was born. That's what it was. And it became this huge hospitality investment thing, right? Where people have 10, 15, 20 properties that are all Airbnb. Well, listen, for the most part, okay, probably these investors are going to very quickly find out that if they go to sell their full-time Airbnb, they got to pay HST, or the buyer's got to pay HST. If it's full-time Airbnb, it's a commercial property, guys, in the eyes of the government. Good luck trying to pass that one off. The second the government or CRA sees that you paid Airbnb fees, or your $300,000 house in Banff, I know they're not 300 grand, but you know where I'm going with this, collects 150,000 in rental income, they know that's not a short-term rental, right? So they're going to pick up on that. And if you didn't pay the HST, guess what? Taxman be a column. So I think what's going to happen is these Airbnb hosts are going to be like, oh crap, the buyer, someone's got to pay HST on this. I didn't know that. We know that. My wife and I know that. We have a second home, which will eventually become probably where we retire. Okay, before you jump into my comment section and say you greedy guy. Okay, that'll probably be where we retire. Anyway, in the meantime, we don't go there very often in the summer. We do it a little ass backwards, like the rest of the things in our lives, where we go there more in the winter because we love it up there in the winter, and we're here more in the summer. But we rent it out in the summer. We made sure, because I knew this HST thing, we made sure we only rent it for a certain amount of time, a little bit here and there. It's on Airbnb, friends and family, that sort of thing. Okay. We knew better. It wasn't a business thing. It was like, hey, we get a couple of months mortgage paid. Fantastic. That's what Airbnb was originally for. Okay. Really kind of small potatoes type guys like myself who are investors, right? Who we're not even investors. We're just trying to, again, get our mortgage paid a few months. Okay. So we're good. We sell that house. We don't have to worry about HST and all that other crap. Okay. You want a full time? Dude, full pop on HST. Like, ask your accountant. That's what's coming down the pipe. So if I find out now I'm going to pay HST, do I flip it to a long-term rental maybe? I don't know the HST implications there. I think you still got to pay a percentage of HST, but if you flip it to long-term rental, at least you got income, right? At least you can get caught up with the HST maybe. But, are these short-term rental guys just going to flip it to long-term rental? Probably. Why, if you're a real estate investor, would you divest yourself of a hard asset like that you're just waiting for the value to come back up in value, in price, right? I know I wouldn't. I would try to figure out some sort of tax implication that I wouldn't have to pay full HST, and I would keep my assets. Sorry, it is what it is, right? So I don't know, man. I don't think this Airbnb thing is going to be a quick fix. I think it's going to be interesting in certain places, right? Like Toronto, where you have condos of Airbnbs. Condos. I look at myself when I travel. Airbnb's gotten really fucking expensive. Has anyone tried to book an Airbnb? Like, they're getting expensive because Airbnb keeps putting up their fees. Cleaning fees keep getting more and more expensive, okay? It just becomes this thing. Airbnb, I hate to say this as an Airbnb person, right? Again, we rent out our place here and there. But depending on what you're using it for, if I need a full kitchen and I want a living room and the whole bit, Airbnb worth the value. But if I'm staying for a night or two, I'm going to a hotel, dude. Seriously. I will go buy a few meals, warm it up in a microwave. And I don't know if you've noticed this or not. Hotels, who, let's face it, hotels are sitting back. They're very quiet. They're like, not saying a thing, but I know what they're thinking at their meetings. Yeah, see you Airbnb later, because they're the ones that are losing out on this, right? If people are going to Airbnb, they're losing out on a lot of revenue on the hotel side. But I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed this. Hotels have more and more, not like full economy units where there's like a living room, a full kitchen, all that stuff, but like a kitchenette, like a fridge, a full-size fridge on the ones that are renoed, okay? Full-size fridge, maybe a bigger microwave, a sink, okay? You're not cooking Thanksgiving dinner at that thing, but you know what? You can go to, like, if you're in the US, you go to Target first, grab some food, bring it back. You can at least make a few of your meals or make some cereal, okay? But they're slowly kind of changing how they're doing their new hotels. So, and they're not marketing it as, oh my God, we have economy units. It's not like a long-term stay. It's just because our hotel room just happens to have a sink and a bit of a kitchenette. That's all, right? They're catching up. They ain't stupid, those hotel people, right? So I don't know. Airbnb, whatever. I don't think it's going to be the game changer that everybody thinks it's going to be. But in the same breath, I think there will be increased inventory. The only people that are going to benefit from this, honestly, guys, is the B.O.C. No, the government, the G.O.C., the government of Canada, right? Because cha-ching, tax dollars be coming in the front door. Anyway, again, as I say, we shall see what happens there. Okay, what else do we got going on? Okay, so Bank of Canada, they did not increase the prime lending rate, which is fantastic. I have said that they're probably going to increase it one more time. I might have to eat my words on this. I'm 50% right. So if you bat 500 in the major leagues, you're like Hall of Fame. So that's what I'm going with. But it has taken such a turn for slower everything, slower GDP. House prices are down, not by a lot, by the way. I should say not by a lot. Inventory is a lot more. I think London's like 4.5 months of inventory. Those of you who don't know, months of inventory is a key driver of real estate statistics and understanding of the market. It's if you stopped listing today, how many listings would be left on the respective board. So 4.5 months is like hardcore buyer. Like, it's actually technically balanced, but with what we've come from, it's a seller's market. Jeez, buyer's market. The buyer has the advantage. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of places around that 3 months, which should be balanced, but the way we've come from, again, it's more of a buyer's market because we're just not used to this at all. Okay, but yeah, I think fixed rates have come down quite a bit lately. They really have. Not like tons and tons, but they definitely have come down a little bit. Okay. I don't think we're going to see a Bank of Canada increase, man. I think I got to eat my words. I don't think that they're going to jack up the rate anymore. Now, every indication on the topic of like times be a changing quickly, we could see rate decreases as soon as April, maybe May. Like, we ain't growing, all right? We have kiboshed this baby. But here's what the concern is at the Bank of Canada, and I get it. Remember what I've said. Canadians are all about hope. If they've got hope, they're going to start buying houses again, okay? The second rates come down, affordability is going to go up, like, right away, okay? Especially since, and this is the stupidest thing, if you switch your mortgage and you're not increasing rate and you're not increasing the amount you're borrowing, you got to requalify, which is fine, fair enough, requalify, but you got to qualify at the stress test level. Why? Unless you have missed mortgage payments or now you're bankrupt or whatever, tell me why you need to be requalified at the stress test. Walk me through that. We see condos right now. Like, condos are slow. Assignment sales, listen, they're still moving, folks. You got to remember, when you have assignment sales and you hear, what I'm getting sick of, let me just vent for a second. You go on freaking TikTok, okay, and Instagram, and you see, oh my God, the market, look at this terrible assignment, this distressed sale. I saw the worst, guys, I saw the worst thing on TikTok today. There was a house in the bridle path of Toronto. It was listed at $27 million last year. It's now down. It didn't sell. I don't know why. Sounds like a list 9 plus 4 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms. It would take me a week to shit in every bathroom in that house. Once. Yeah. 14 bathrooms twice a day. In case you were wondering, twice a day. It would take me a full week to hit every bathroom. And I would do it too. I'd have a whiteboard. I would buy a $27 million house and boom, whiteboard on every front of the bathroom. Check. Did it here, guys. Check. Did it here. Anyway. 14 bathrooms, 9 plus 4 bedrooms. What are the plus 4 bedrooms? If it's 9 plus, can someone in real estate tell me what is the plus 4 bedrooms? What are those? Why can't we just say 13 bedrooms? Someone in real estate, please comment and let me know. I want to know. Okay. So 9 plus 4 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, pearly gates, drive through, and you've got a fountain. Okay. Tried to sell it last year for $27 million. This year it's down to $19 million. Like, it's like going to Bargain Harold's. Oh my God, I aged myself there. Bargain Harold's, Byway. All right, it's like you're getting a steal at $19 million. Okay, but it makes me sick when all these TikTok folks and Instagram put up distressed sale. Guys, it's like 1 or 2 compared to the other hundreds of deals that are going through. So let's just do some math. You guys know I like to pull up my calculator, right? 1 distressed sale divided by, let's say, another 250 sales are going through, no problem. We're gonna fret over a TikTok post on 0.004%. Okay, guys. Other than my stuff that I post, don't believe everything you see on TikTok from the standpoint that the sky hasn't quite fallen. Do we have distressed sales happening? Yeah, we do. But don't fret over some of this. Okay. So assignment sales are still, to come back to what I originally started talking about before I started talking about my bowel movements with 14 bathrooms. Distress sales are happening. People are struggling with payments. I honestly think, again, to bring it back further to what I was talking about, Bank of Canada is going to have to drop rates, because don't forget, that prime lending rate that we talk about, that also impacts unsecured lines of credit, not credit cards, but unsecured lines, loans, etc. Okay, that will be some welcome relief. Could you imagine being a variable rate mortgage holder? Okay, and the rate comes down. Holy shit! Christmas come early in April, hopefully 2024. Okay, we're probably going to see fixed rates are going to continue to come down as well. All right, they just are. Bond prices are coming down. It's an exciting time to be alive for bond prices. I think rates have peaked, guys. I think we're there. I think we've hit it. All the work that the government has done to fix their bloody mistake. And Bank of Canada, you hear me, Tiffy boy. All you're doing here is fixing your own damn mistake. Okay. is actually kind of working from the standpoint of what they were looking to accomplish. Okay. But hopefully some of the critics are correct when they say percent and a half. Benjamin Tall came out, big guy, like CIBC economist, makes lots of money, very expensive haircut. He said 1.5% in 1 year. I can't wait for this. You ready for this? Did you know if you have a mortgage with anyone, big banks, anyone other than Scotia or National, and of course, if you have a B deal through the monolines, when the rates go up and down, the prime rate, your payment goes up, right? We know about this. When it hits the trigger rate, the payment goes up. Well, guess what? When the prime rate changes, goes down, do you know your payment doesn't come down again? Did you know that? I can't wait to be on the 1-800 number call of a bank when they get that phone call. The guy's like, I want you to bring my payment down. They're like, hell no, you can't do that. That'll be very, very interesting. All right, next things to come. And listen, we're going into Christmas, guys. I'm going to be missing a couple of podcasts because, as I said, Christmas is my favorite time. Then I just don't want to do this during Christmas because I need a fucking break. But things that are coming down the pipe. All right. Obviously, it's going to be nonstop rate talk. Next one's in January for Bank of Canada. Okay. Nonstop speculation. January will be very interesting. Okay, because that's when people spend too much money. That's when people realize they spent too much money at Christmas and have no money. But I'm pretty sure consumer spending is way down, so that might cancel itself out. Okay, we might cancel January remorse. Okay, January spending remorse. But a lot of Bank of Canada talk's going to continue. Fixed rates are going to be the story. I think part of the reason why he didn't increase the rates is because the fixed rates did some of the work for him. All right, so that'll be interesting. And then just really what's going to happen on this market, you know? All right, that's enough stuff that's going on. If you have questions, listen, if you've got a mortgage, all right, I'm going to give you, here's some free advice. If you have an existing mortgage that's coming up for renewal in the next 3 to 4 years, you have got to get into somebody now to have a conversation and plan out how you're going to manage or prep for your renewal. Okay. I keep telling people this over and over and over again. Get your ass in, talk to a qualified mortgage broker, mortgage agent. I know one, to make sure that you're prepared. There's a lot of clients I'm meeting right now and they're listening. They're getting in early and we got time to prepare to set them up properly. Okay. Do not wait until the last minute. Honestly, don't think it's a walk in the park. It's not anymore. Right. Get in, talk to someone qualified who knows what the hell they're doing and really believes in planning, doing mortgage planning. Okay. I know that's what we do. All right. Again, shameless plug, but who cares? It's my podcast. I can do what the hell I want. Talk to me. All right. Let's plan out your mortgage if need be, guys. I'm telling you, it is freaking critical. Okay. All right. That's enough. Oh, made it 23 minutes. Beautiful. 23 minutes of me bitching and complaining. Fantastic. I don't know why anyone listens to this podcast. Guys, on that note, like me, love me, follow me, want me, desire me, 5 stars. I think it only allows 5 stars. And other than that, you know what I'm going to say? Keep fit. Have fun.